What's up, mother truckers? Shred Lord here, Thralls of Metal, bringing you one of our brand new Screaming Toilet reviews. Now, if you don't know, recently we've been fortunate enough to team up with Screaming Toilet, which is a website that reviews movies, music, all sorts of awesome shit, and got in contact with them through one of my best friends and hooked us up with some really cool stuff to check out and listen to. So be on the lookout. I think Nick already released his first review with the whole box set that came with us. So I'm going to do mine. Now, what I have for you here is a power metal band from Italy called Frozen Crown. Pretty neat. Damn good packaging. The album, Crowned in Frost. Now, I don't really know too much about this band. I pretty much went into this blind. Did a little bit of research and found out that they're from Italy and they were formed in 2017. So they're a fairly fresh band in the genre. I looked up Metal Encyclopedium, and a couple of their members were in another band, but none of it sounded familiar to me at all. So, kind of went over my head. Not sure about the other bands. But, let's get into this review. So, out of all the guys, I'm probably the most into power metal. I'm not a gigantic power metal fan anymore. I used to dig it a lot, and then I kind of grew out of it a little bit. I still have my roots in it and still enjoy certain bands from back in the day. But for that reason, I got asked to do this review. So the first thing I can tell you is it sounds like a power metal album. It kicks off, it's very atmospheric, it's very epic. There's a chick guitar player with another guitar player. They both make a really great tandem, and it sounded really good as far as their harmonies. There's definitely some leads in there, but more so, these leads were kind of like, there's certain spots where they're shredding and doing more traditional solo stuff, but a lot of the time it was, creating good melody and tension and release to kind of build the parts. And once again, it's power metal, so make it as epic as possible. So after going through this entire album, I blasted it in my car a couple times. I did enjoy it, but I'll tell you this right now, there were times where I caught myself just kind of not paying attention. And I think the reason for that is while it does have a good sound overall, the album itself is very stagnant to me in terms of dynamics. There's certain parts that stood out to me, but not that many. There's like a really cool piano part in the middle of the album that stuck out to me. The way they come into the album is nice and epic and cool. But other than that, it's just kind of all on the same wavelength as far as dynamics and songwriting go. So if I could make any kind of a critique about it, it's, first of all, they're formed in 2017, so they've only been around a couple of years. So because of that, they're probably still gelling together and learning how to work well. I'd be interested to see if on the next album they did a little bit more songwriting-wise to kind of make choruses or certain riffs a little bit more memorable. Not that any of it was bad, it just all kind of flowed together. Nothing really stood out as individual tracks to me. It all just kind of sounded like one giant run-on song. From a production standpoint, it was really good. I could have used, once again, I'm just a guitar guy, so I could have used a little bit more guitars in the forefront, especially because they were nice and thrashy. There were times that kind of had like Megadeth-y type riffs, almost like some thrash, and same with the double bass of the drummer. There were times where just pounding that double bass and sounding great, but I could have used more guitars in that mix. The singer sounds fantastic. The instrumentation was great. So as far as the production goes, I guess it's just personal taste. All right, let's get down to the ranking. Now, I took a couple things into consideration, like the fact that they're only a couple years old and this is their second album. So with that being said, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. The reason I do so is, once again, there was absolutely nothing wrong or anything that turned me off from this album. Nothing went, ugh. But I could have used more memorable moments and I could have used stronger hooks. So with that being said, that's why I gave it the rating that I did. However, if they ever send across another album from Frozen Crown, or if I just happen to come across it, I'd be interested to check it out and see how they progressed as a band, because once again, they're still fairly young. So that's my 2 cents. I would love to hear what you guys think. If you guys are familiar with the band, or if you've never listened to the album, go out and listen to it and then give forth your opinion. Love to do the interaction and love to hear what everybody else thinks. So with that being said, I'm Shred Lord. If you like what you saw here, hit the like and subscribe button. As always, we are the Thralls of Metal, and we suck ass, but only sometimes. So we'll see you later.